Guys, like, comment, subscribe, share the video, especially if you love MMA as much as I do. That's right. Now, as far as my prediction for Jon Jones versus Stipe Miocic, this fight has been very difficult for me to predict because you got the greatest heavyweight of all time versus the greatest light heavyweight of all time, according to the UFC. Fedor's still my GOAT in heavyweight division history. Excuse me, my allergies. It just depends on how the fight goes. Who's able to enforce their strategy more? And I don't think it's going to be a matter of will. I think strength, power-wise, they're evenly matched. Jon Jones is clearly very powerful at heavyweight. Stipe, you already know about him. He can beat anybody at heavyweight, except Stephen Struve. But that's besides the point. I'm kidding. A little shot at Stipe. I love Stipe. I'm going to go with... I'm going with Jon Jones. I'm sorry, I gotta pick Jon Jones. Look, and it has nothing to do with his performance with Cyril. I could care less what he did with Cyril. Fighting him is one thing. Fighting a guy who knows how to wrestle like Stipe or Francis at heavyweight, that's a whole other ballgame. But I'll tell you why I'm picking Jon Jones. Here's the thing. Stipe is a winner. Jon Jones is a bigger winner. Stipe finishes guys. Jon Jones overall is a better finisher. Stipe is skilled. Jon Jones is a much more skilled fighter. Stipe's smart. Jon Jones is smarter when it comes to MMA, strategic-wise. All right? So, I really think it's... Here's the thing. Stipe isn't really hard to figure out, strategic-wise. Jon Jones is going to keep his distance when he fights him. For the most part, he's going to be very unpredictable. I think the fact that Stipe is more predictable than Jon Jones gives Jon Jones the edge in this fight. I really do. Stipe is going to try to keep Jon Jones close. He's going to try to do what he did with Daniel Cormier. Put him against the cage, get the better of the stand-up exchanges, use the dirty boxing. I think Stipe's wrestling, I don't think it's better than Jon Jones' wrestling, but I think it's good enough to keep it more leveled or keep it closer. Versus Jorge Masvidal, Colby Covington fight, where clearly Colby's the far better wrestler. But that's besides the point. The point is, I think Jon Jones, his skill set of wrestling, the leg kicks, the knees, and I think you'll see Jon Jones keep it simple. He'll keep it basic with his stand-up. He's not going to get too fancy. He's not going to throw a lot of spinning back elbows, spinning back fists, all the fancy stuff you've seen Jon Jones do throughout his career. He's going to keep Stipe in front of him, but he's going to keep his distance. About like how Adesanya fights his opponent. He's going to be doing a lot of damage, but he's going to be always on the move, away from getting hit. All right? So, I think Jon Jones gets the better of the stand-up exchanges, in my opinion. I don't think he'll knock out Stipe. He's not going to put Stipe out, but he's going to keep Stipe on his toes more than Stipe is going to keep Jon Jones on his toes due to his talent and the fact that Stipe is more predictable in terms of game planning. So, with that being said, I think Jon Jones wins a decision. I think it's going to be a tough fight for Jon Jones. I think he's going to get hit several times in this fight. He's going to get tested. I do think Stipe is going to have Jon Jones in some trouble in some moments of this fight. But I think, and the fact that Jon Jones is harder to predict, the fact that he'll keep his distance a lot of this fight, he'll mix in the wrestling and be able to take Stipe down at least 2 or 3 times in this fight. And I do think Stipe is going to keep Jones from finishing him, from submitting him and stuff. But I do think Jon Jones will stay on top of him and be able to land some good punches and elbows. Not a whole lot to really hurt Stipe so much, but to stay active to where the referee is not going to stand him up and play in Stipe's favor where Stipe is looking to finish the fight or keep Jones close. And honestly, as far as a clinch exchange or anything like that, I think Jon Jones will get the better of it. I think Jon Jones will be able to pull away in the championship rounds. He'll be able to step on his feet or throw leg kicks, uppercuts if he is close with Stipe. Later in the fight, early on, I think you'll see him keep his distance. So if he keeps his distance, if he's patient with Stipe, not overly aggressive, keeps his stand-up basic, meaning leg kicks, jabs, maybe a head kick every now and then, just pretty basic. If he can occasionally look for takedowns, don't look for it too much, because then you become too predictable for Stipe. Don't get too close to Stipe. This is number 6 through 10, by the way. when you do take Stipe down, which he will, get on top and be patient, but do not too much. All right? Meaning, don't make that fight get to the feet any more than you have to. And by the time it's the late fourth, early fifth, the championship rounds, be patient. Lean on Stipe. Make Stipe carry your weight by putting him up against the fence. I do think Stipe is going to get tired. He's going to be very frustrated in this fight, and he won't be able to find a way to put Jon Jones away. Jon Jones is very smart. He doesn't take a lot of damage, for the most part. So for that reason, I have to pick Jon Jones to win. However, I will be coming out with I'm actually going to go live in a little bit and discuss how I think Stipe can beat Jon Jones. But I am picking Jon Jones to win this fight. I have to. Look, again, one's a really big winner. The other guy has never lost. So, yeah. Sorry, Stipe. I want you to win, though. I'm pulling for you. But I got Jon Jones getting the win if I had to put money on it.